The Hagharzin monastery is located in Armenia, amidst dense forests north of Lake Sevan. The monastery complex was built over a long period. The refectory on the western edge was constructed in 1248. Its longitudinal construction is divided by two pillars, each of which is covered with a system of crossed arcs. The monks' former dining room is difficult to discern. The kitchen can only be imagined. The adjoining monastery bakery had a chimney and a fireplace below. The founding period of the monastery is unknown. Its heyday was at the end of the 12th to the beginning of the 13th century. The Gavit of the Grigor Church is swathed in a soft, mystical light that reveals various inscriptions on the walls. Four massive pillars support an octagonal dome, and in each corner, vaults absorb the darkness. In Armenian sacred architecture, the porches to the main churches were used for burials of the lords of the manor who donated land to the church. The Seljukians destroyed the site, which was rebuilt by the Zakharian princes following liberation. Both floor and walls contain several tombs which depict the art of the Middle Ages. They were difficult times when even the monasteries encountered robbery, murder, and manslaughter. Numerous mysterious reliefs adorn this place. Caught in the light of flickering torches and candles, these stone motifs must have had a profound effect on the attendant faithful. Only from here could they enter the small Grigor Church, the oldest construction in the complex that was most likely built in the 10th century. Attached is the tomb chapel of King Sumbat and his nephew Gajik. The appearance of the main church is in contrast to the few splendid columns of the porch of the former Gavit. a few of which have been restored. The former glory of this place can only be left to the imagination. In the bright light of day, the darkness of the porch leads to the main church. The Mother of God Church was probably built during the 10th and 11th centuries. The altar in the raised apse is used for regular Mass for pilgrims. Here, the grey stone walls also consist of raw blocks, and sparse rays of light add a deeply spiritual aspect. The domed roof is reinforced with arches and illuminated by a central iron chandelier. The main church can be exited via a side door and passes the katogike to reveal the rear side. A medieval monastery in a place that, according to tradition, was a pagan place of worship. In the first half of the 13th century, the monastery was again threatened by invasion of the Mongols, but this time without incident. At the rear, on the facade of Our Lady's Church, there are two figures with croziers holding a replica of the church. And in front, a charred stump which, despite a lightning strike, has been preserved right up to the present day. Adjacent is the earliest church of the monastery complex, which is dedicated to St. Stephen and was built in 1244. Also a domed hall with a large central space. On its eastern facade, the church contains a special feature: a sundial beneath a sun wheel. In the sunshine, an aglet throws a shadow on 11 filigree and scrawled Armenian letters. Here, the monks' prayer times are displayed.